For the longest time, I feel like I'm doing a lot of distractions to my original goal. And that is because I'm pursuing my hobbies and interests. And I can't stop myself. I believe that is something that makes my life more beautiful. And the reason is I follow the advice that in order for me to be great, I need to focus on one thing to become a specialist. And any other things that I'm doing aside from that job keeps me distracted on achieving my goal. So that is my matter. That's the reason I feel guilty whenever I indulge myself too much on the things that I love. And those things are keeping me from progressing. Not until I stumbled upon a content in social media because I'm chronically online as well about generalist. So the concept of generalist, these are people who might feel lost at the moment is because being generalist means you are you have multiple interests and your job does not contain all those interests of yours. That's why you're just using a portion of you just to fulfill what is being asked from you by your job. So these people, the reason why they're lost, it's because it feels like they're not fulfilled with their job because they cannot maximize their full potential. Now, I listen to a lot of contents about generalists, and I'm happy because they learned how to compensate all their interest. What they do is they upskill all their interest and they offer it as a separate engagement. So, for example, you are a lawyer, but you are into hosting events. So they upskill the hosting skills, and then during nighttime or during free schedule, they do work gigs. They do hosting gigs. Then there are some people who are into fashion. So they create their craft on top of being an engineer. Then there are some people who do reaction videos online and they wanted consuming contents of a particular field. So they try to monetize it on YouTube. So those are the things that you can do as a generalist. Now I'm thinking if I could apply it to myself. Definitely yes, I do have a lot of interest as well. It's just that my setup is like this. I work during workday, I am this professor, I am this manager, financial advisor, I am a certified public accountant. And then I just retreat to my house doing the things that I love. Now it consumes a lot of time already just doing the things that I love. I read a lot of books. I consume a lot of social media content and generally content online. I play musical instruments. I explore different talents like playing musical instruments, dancing, singing. I'm into pop culture and I absorb knowledge from different disciplines like numerology, astrology, and history, autobiographies, and biographies of important people and then not participating on online discussion, but I love hearing thoughts of people. So if I'm going to do something that will compensate me on that particular interest of mine, it will consume a lot of my time as well. So as much as I would like to embrace being a generalist and how do they earn, I learned the concept of polymath. So polymath is quite different from a generalist. Maybe it's practical generalist as well. It's just that a polymath doesn't need to earn from all the things, hobbies that they like. Instead, they synthesize and strategize, meaning they embrace that they do have a lot of things other than the main job. And they try to learn something from their hobbies and apply it to their main job. Do you get the difference? So if I'm going to put an analogy on this, a specialist is a specific tool in building something. So it's like a cog in a machine. So for example, I'm an accountant. So there is a particular function in the organization that I am an expert at. In comparison to a polymath, it's like a master builder. So a Swiss Army knife, there are a lot of tools inside, and whenever it is being needed, he can pull it out because it's already in his arsenal. So that's being the polymath. Now, the concept of polymath doesn't necessarily be an expert to all. It's just that as long as you understand and you keep on learning on things outside your job, you can just apply it when time arises. In that way, you won't feel guilty that you are different from the others, that you are not specializing on one thing. So that's one thing I love about polymath, and that's the reason why I created this subject. It's because I want you to embrace your uniqueness. I know those advice, specializing on one thing to become great, might be applicable to some, but not all people are like that. I want you to retain your uniqueness, to embrace the whole you. It's because that will become your flavor. Imagine if you're going to think about it, this world already has a lot of experts who are doing the boring stuff. But what makes you different are the things that you hide from the public, those obsessions of yours. Just like in my case, I am into anime. I am to reading novels. Now, those type of hobbies of mine open my mind to different characters that are more than meets the eye. There are a lot of characters who are saying something but thinking differently, and it's because I'm just watching the anime or I'm just absorbing the book. I can learn that there are typical things that cannot be said, but that's not what they intended to say. Do you get what I'm saying? So I encountered also a lot of people when I deal with clients and prospects, and I get to probe more because I know that if this is the type of how they deliver the sentence, maybe I could ask better questions in order for me to understand them better. Another example is that last year I joined a fitness community called Kaizen. And it's just a 100-day challenge that we are monitoring the weight, the progressive overload in our weights, and a community of fitness enthusiasts. Now we are under the program for 100 days, but since we do have a goal, we strictly monitor all the values that are contributory to our goal. Now, the worksheet that we have is very simple, and I applied it to how I create a monitoring system for my business. So the concept is like Pareto principle in management that we are focusing on the most important thing so that we could progress better. But the manner on how I use the Kaizen material, it is very simple that it can be understood by anyone. That's why I applied it to my job. See, I am also a fitness enthusiast. I do martial arts and all. And then I learned something from there, but I applied it to my main job. So that is the beauty of becoming a polymath. I don't need to feel guilty that I do have other interests. Unlike normal generalists that I need to earn from that. But I'm just doing that because it's my hobby. It's the thing that I like. I don't need to be paid on everything that I do. But I need to preserve the learning from there and apply it to my main job for me to become better. See, that's the difference. And that's the aim of this subject, for you to embrace who you are. Now, let me give you an exercise. If you believe that you are a polymath yourself and you don't want to give up your hobbies, I encourage you not to quit your job, but not to stop becoming you. So I call it shadow resume. Create two columns, and the columns on the left write all the skills, the things that you do for your job, all the skills that pay the bills. You do accounting, you do sales, you do marketing, you do nursing, everything right up there. And on the right side, write your obsessions, things that the public doesn't know. So if you're into anime, if you're into pop culture as well, if you're a martial artist, sports enthusiast, etc. Now, the magic happens when you connect the two. For example, you're into team sports. That can be connected to leadership and group dynamics, whether you are the leader or the follower. So you can learn something from there and connect it to what you do in your job. For example, you are into fashion, and then you could connect it to public speaking on how you present yourself, not only on the manner you articulate things, but also on how you dress. So these skills will let you embrace all the unique things that you have, your obsessions, in your current job. All you need to do is to synthesize that each of the things that you like has something to offer in order to elevate you. Even for now, that it is not being compensated, it's fine. But you are learning something from there aside from entertainment. And because of that, it will open opportunities for you to become better on your actual skill set. So that is the essence of polymath. Again, being a polymath doesn't require you to be the best at everything that you do. All you need to do is to know that you do have a lot of tools in your arsenal that you could use to present yourself better for the world.